Welcome to the Going North podcast, where you will be informed, encouraged, and empowered to embrace your dreams and advance in life through authorship. I'm your host, best-selling author of the book Stay the Course, and certified leadership trainer, Don Brightman. Be sure to check out the goods and services from every guest, as well as the host himself, yours truly. Now let the fun begin. And today on the Going North podcast, we bring you some fabulous humans from across the globe. Today is no different because we got another fabulous author in the house, Thanks to the wonderful folks at the magical Captain Mickey with his wonderful, awesome Sirs Creative Edge. We have another author from the Creative Edge tribe today. This fabulous lady right here. She loves the sunset, loves long walks on the beach, traveling across the world, and when she's not doing her corporate 9 to 5, she can be found sipping wine and spending all of her hard-earned money on shoes. Gotta love shoes, y'all. And among her friends and family, this fabulous lady right here is known as the storyteller of the group, always recapping her crazy life stories and situations. And on top of that, her personal experiences, emotions, and fantasies are the inspiration for most of her books. So there's a little bit of her in every story, or should I say, story. So remember, no matter what, guys, too, even if you're flat-chested, chin up, tits out. Let's give it up for the one, the only Miranda Oh. In this case, Miranda Oh, yeah. How you doing?
Hey. I am fantastic. Thank you for the fantastic interview. Like, wonderful. I kind of had to do a hair flip there while you were doing your thing.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Good with five O's even.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
I'm happy to be with you too. This is fabulous. I'm like, as soon as I saw your Amazon bio and I saw the titles of the books, like, all right, this is gonna be fun.
Right. I mean, like, who can't say that they don't enjoy a long walk on the beach, whether it's late at night, earlier in the morning, or in the dead heat of the day. Getting out there and getting into nature is sometimes enjoyable. And I mean, shoes. Come on now. Who don't love shoes? I don't like feet, so you got to cover them up with something nicely.
Come on, you gotta like feet. Come on now.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
What? You don't like
Mm-mm.
feet? I mean, we gotta
Nope.
walk somehow.
Oh, I appreciate the foot 100%. I respect the foot 100%. Don't touch me with it. Don't even let me see it or look at it or smell it. Oh, nope. Nope.
Even with lavender.
Yeah, I like lavender essential oils on like the top half of bodies or like in the air, but like not attached to feet, my friend. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those body parts that you're like, that is not attractive. But I mean, think about it. It carries a lot of weight. It has to do a lot of stuff every single day, and we don't really necessarily take care of them very much. So they look a little haggard.
Funny enough, remember one guy one time, he was a veteran. He was like, yeah, gotta put the dogs out there, and he was referring to his feet. I'm like, oh, that's just horrible.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, this one time I lost a toenail. I had to tape it on. It was taped on for a long time. Long time. Yoga class, had it taped. I don't wear socks because, like, nobody needs to see that or judge me. So I wore socks for like 6 months. It was embarrassing. Never again. That was Vegas, by the way.
Well, it's
Terrible
probably
idea.
safer though.
You know what? Yeah. For my ego, 150%.
Oh, I like you. Well, another thing I like is the title of your series. So, what led to that?
Chin up, tits out. Okay, simply hold your head up high, hold your shoulders back, stand up tall, stand proud. So, all that messaging kind of originated from my parents growing up. And it was always like, stand confident and be confident and look confident, even if you don't feel confident. Because if you keep doing that, then eventually that outside look that you're throwing out there, the inside will catch up with it. As long as you consistently make that choice to stand proud and to stand tall. And the words that my parents chose evolved over the years, and kind of sassy attitude and banter between mom and daughter one day, she spit that out. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, okay. And she's just like, she shushed it off and like left it. It didn't even become a thing at that moment. It was just kind of a like a subconscious coaching thing, if that makes any sense, because it wasn't until I was writing my story that it came out. It was like, all right, what are you going to name your book? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, don't ask me that. It's not time to figure that out yet. I don't know, don't ask me that. And then as soon as I started reading the book, it was everywhere, everywhere. And I was like, yo, I think the title of the book, like the book told me what the title should be. And then it kind of, then that evolved into a series, and then it evolved into this motto, and then it evolved into like continuing to live your life in that sense of attitude, that positive attitude. And no matter how dark or deep or crappy, when everything is failing, like we still have the choice to stay positive, even if it's hard. We still have that choice to pick out the positive in things, and so that's that dedication.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about right there. The power of being instilled with confidence. And you got to wonder if your mom ever thought of that when she kept on telling you that as a kid. It's like, yeah, yes, right. Chin up, tits out. Wait, I can't say that to her. She's not grown yet. All right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, there were no boundaries within my family. Like, we talked about anything and everything, and we still do. Like, they're so nosy, but I absolutely love them. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because as we grow and as we evolve, our family just continues to actually grow and evolve, and we welcome others and we learn more. And, in that time, we just become close. And when you have those open discussions about things, even if they're tough, I think it just builds a really tight relationships. So, yeah, my mom probably said that without having any immediate regard of trying to send a life message. It was probably like a snap back at something sassy I said as a hormonal teenager, but it stuck, and then we chose, and it morphed into something positive, and now, going through my 20s and entering into my 30s, it was something that I lived heavily upon, but didn't even know that I lived heavily upon until I started writing about certain things in my life and sharing it publicly, that I realized how much I go back to that little mantra in my head and lean on it for strength and, moving forward through tough times.
Oh, yes, indeed. And it's funny, that's usually the best ideas, the ones that you never expect that come out randomly.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Writing, it is exploring those ideas. It's like somebody told me reality is stranger than fiction, and I laughed because when I was explaining my to my 20s to people, you see their eyes widen, and then you see their eyes bulge, and they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. But how did you do that? What do you mean, how did I do that? I woke up, I put one foot in front of the other, I drank coffee in the morning, and then I switched to wine when it was appropriate. And then I continued to put one foot in front of the other, and you just do life. Like, again, like, no matter how hard it is, you just kind of do life. And writing it out became something that was healing. And then it also became something that I connected with people, and connecting with people opens up your mind and perspectives and point of views and opinions, and it really helps you grow as a human, I think. And so I strive for connections now.
Amen to that. Amen to that. That's what I'm talking about. So, did you ever imagine yourself becoming a writer one day, let alone an author of 3 published books?
No, no, not at all. I was told I got to write this out, and I've been told that I would be a good speaker, a motivational speaker, or a good coach. And so I'm like, that's cool. But like, like I'm lucky. I've been supported my entire life, and I've been told that I can do anything that I want to do. And um, to even now, when I introduce somebody and they ask me what I do, and I tell them, and they're like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." They're like, "But that's really so cool." Like, it just doesn't. It's weird to me because for me, there was so much that I got out of it that it wasn't that I was pouring out into it for everybody else. Of course, there's that portion of it and that part of it, but I received so much benefit from it that it was never like a work thing. It was never a career. It was never a job. It was something that drove so much passion and fueled so much in my heart that I just wanted to get it out there and wanted to share, because the more that I shared, the better I felt. And when I got that idea and started to explore about sharing and feeling better about sharing and relating and how you gain strength with that, it was like, man, girl, you need to write this out and get it out and just keep writing. And so that's my goal, is just keep writing and keep exploring these new types of connections that life brings us, that life is going to bring us no matter what. It's our choice how we deal with those.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And it's fabulous that you're able to tap into that and actually put pen to paper and get that book out, indeed, or should I say, get the books out. Yes, indeed. Instead of who let the dogs out, is who let the tits out.
150%. Who let them out? Girl, put them back in. Nobody needs to be seeing those. Behind closed doors. ah. Anyways, again, quarantine day something something unknown, and my sense of humor might be inappropriate. I'm sorry. These times, I swear to you, these times I so appreciate writing, because you have the opportunity to connect with your readers and people, because they're not the people that live next door to you. They're the people that bought your book online from a different country, and now you have the opportunity to connect with them and see what's up, talk to them. Life is slowing down right now, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's true indeed. And I guess this whole period of things being forced to slow down is kind of a gift in a way, even though it's a curse for those who may have loved ones
Mhm.
going through it or for those who may
Mhm.
have gone through it themselves. It's
Mhm.
still a blessing if you basically weather the storm and come out of it alive, because you'll have so much content if you take advantage of it.
Mhm. You're totally right. If you can literally hunker down and weather the storm, it sucks. Like, you start to talk to people that have been affected by it, and it's gut wrenching. But then at the same time, you start to see all the positive things that Mother Nature has simply started to regrow and rebirth over such a short time of humans slowing down their days, and that to me just is a direct reflection of what I try to do actually in my third book. So there's a trilogy, right? So my third book is very much, it's called Just Breathe, Chin Up, Tits Out, and it's very much all about figuring out how to slow down and just breathe through certain things and live through them and assess them, and take a breath before you make a step. You don't have to run through life. And I think these times, as tragic and as scary as and as uncertain as they are, life in general is this fragile, and we should treat every day as we are right now, as fragile as it is in reality for us.
Heck yeah, that's right. We are in the fragile box, as some call it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's interesting times. I mean, I'm stocked up on toilet paper and like bleach and all that cleanliness stuff. So I didn't go like crazy and hoard it. But like I'm rationing. I think I'm being smart. So just stay in, stay clean, and cyber or social distance.
There you go. Physical distance, cyber closeness. You know what? That's what this is, cyber closeness.
It is. It is. And cyber closeness, like I remember when I was 18 years old and meeting, like chatting with people in MSN chat rooms. And my mom and dad were like, "What are you doing?" My email address was like 2% devil at hotmail.com because my parents wouldn't let me have more than 2% devil, and 90% angel was just not cool enough. So 2% devil was what it was, right? And like MSN chat rooms where you picked up like predators and creepy people. And now look at it, it's like you and I are it's cyber closeness. Every single night I'm sitting on my computer on a platform and chatting with somebody from around the world, and I don't feel alone. I feel closer to a lot of people, and more people than I do now, than you do some people face to face, and the people that you see face to face on a day-to-day basis. It's crazy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Are you still 2% devil, by the way?
No, no, I have not. I don't even know what happened to that email address. I think I lost it, or I stopped using it when it was like you needed to start using a proper email address for school. So clearly, I think I went to something with like Beach Babe. Obviously, that was a step up. and
Oh,
then and now I'm just straight up the Miranda Oh, because there is only me.
ah.
I am so unique. Just kidding.
Nah, you're adulting.
Right, right, like what employer needs 2% devil popping into their inbox at 9:30 on a Monday morning going, "Hey, let's talk about employment opportunities." Nope.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, they're 2%. I can't have him in my 48% devilness. Like,
Oh,
no.
right. Right. Oh, no, that's too much. It's too much. Too high. Too high statistics.
Yes, indeed. Need to take the weed off the statistics with that one.
Right? Totally to have it balanced out.
Woohoo! Well, and speaking of balance, is there an end goal for how many books are gonna be written in your lifetime? Because you got the trilogy out now, chick lit
Mhm.
goodness. So is there gonna be a different genre you're gonna explore, or not sure yet?
Well, okay, so I'm in the midst of researching my second series. So I've decided what my second series is going to be about. It's still going to fit into the chick lit contemporary fiction, large, unbiased genre that just you can kind of write anything you want and plunk in there. Because I mean, I don't know how I really write. I just find stories and I write them. So because there was sex, drugs, rock and roll, love, and hate, and this and that, everybody slapped on romance and drama to my Chin Up Tits Out series. So, um, my second series, I'm in the midst of doing research. It's going to be, I think, in the same genre for sure. This series, I'm doing 100 interviews for my research process. So I didn't do that for my first series. This is a huge different path. It's a very different path for me. Um, I just kind of winged my first three. I just wrote them. I just had at her and wrote them. It was like verbal diarrhea. It just wouldn't come out, and then it's out. Now it's done, and now I have this goal to write this really well-rounded series that has a loud voice. I wanna capture a lot of people with this and a lot of heart with this. And so I thought if I interviewed 100 people from around the world, that it would be impactful, that would be an impactful message to attach to my series. And so I launched the idea 26 days ago, and I have 50% of my almost 50% of my interviews out of 100 booked, and I've accomplished almost 20% of them already. So I've completed, I think, 16, 17 interviews. I have 4 more this weekend coming up. I have interviews like 5 days a week going on right now. And each of those interviews, I'm left with a heart full of gratitude, emotionally drained, and like 6 pages of psychotic notes, and an hour long recording that's saved on my computer. And I'm honestly so honored that these volunteers have stepped up and shared their real life stories, like raw stories, real stories, scary stories to relive. And they're going in it, diving headfirst and sharing everything with me. And honestly, like I couldn't write this without them. And so I'm really excited to get going. And once my interviews are done, then it's having at her to get that first book of the next series published next year, and it will be another 3-part series.
Sweet.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, indeed. So, what made you decide to choose 100 different folks to interview and get some feedback for this upcoming project?
Well, so I am writing about a condition that affects 1 in 10 women worldwide. So roughly, right now, currently, there's about like 175 million women worldwide that suffer from this chronic illness, and I'm one of them. And I learned more about it from the community than I did my medical professionals. And I, to this day, doing the interviews that I have done and doing the research and talking to the people that I've done, am a firm supporter of my medical team. My medical team up in Canada is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the gentlemen that work for me. Um, they're fantastic medical professionals. But again, I still learned more from the community. And I am an A-type kind of crazy personality. So when things started to go crazy with my life, and this condition started to affect me in my daily, I went into doctor's office with charts and graphs and statistics about my own life. Like I tracked all the data and brought them science. I'm like, you are scientists. this is this is what you thrive off of. Tell me that I'm fine. Look at this data, look me in the eye, tell me as an educated individual that I am fine and what I'm experiencing is in my head. And none of them could, because what I had tracked and what I had presented and how confident I was and how I was fighting to be an advocate for my own body got me a diagnosis in 18 months. Our average diagnosis is 7 to 8 years for these conditions. So
Oh
women
wow.
are suffering for almost a decade. And it's terrible. Like my life was turned upside down. Like I work a corporate job and I'm an Airbnb host. I'm an author. I have a podcast. I'm busy. I love to be busy. And I stopped. I couldn't do anything for almost a year, and it was terrible. And I still fought hard. So when I was writing my first trilogy or my first series, I really wrote about heavy things. I wrote about long distance relationships. I wrote about racism. I wrote about corrupt government. I wrote about mental illness. I wrote about cancer. I wrote about addiction. I wrote about how love is so messy and so confusing, but at the end of the day, love is everything. And it was so hard to write, but at the end of the day, there was so much benefit to reap. Me and my readers evoked emotion. We healed, we connected, we related, we grew. So when I got my diagnosis and it was like, girl, what you doing next? There was no question what I was writing about next. But how do I give this series, how do I give this condition the shout out that it needs? That I hope that it gives women the voice that they feel like they've been silenced with for, years. I want to educate, I want to make people, I want to bring awareness, but I also want to highlight all the amazing things. Like I have women from literally 12 countries off the top of my head that I have become friends with over the last couple of years that I talk to more than I talk to people that live 15 feet away from me. And it's absolutely fantastic because we're able to relate on things and connect on things. And hey, if we ever get to go to each other's ends of the world, we got a connection there. And so again, like cyber closeness or whatever you called it is totally what my reality is right now. And 100 people was an obtainable goal for me, but also I felt like a good impactful sample that I could collect 100 specific unique stories about women living the raw, real, dirty life of what sometimes we have to go through. And I'm going to intertwine that into this wildly connected book that is going to be heart throbbing, but also wildly entertaining and twisted. And I honestly cannot wait to share it because every interview I get more excited. It's crazy.
Sweet. That's powerful right there. That's powerful right there. Yes, indeed. And congrats for learning a lot sooner than most people. My goodness. Yes,
We got
indeed.
one life, my friend. We also got one body. Like what you put into this body, it's like a car. Man, like if you buy a Lamborghini, are you going to put regular petrol in that car? No, man, you're going to put premium in that car, right? Our bodies are the same way. Our minds are the same way as well. Our minds are the most powerful tool, and we only know how to control 10% of it. Think about that 90% we don't know how to control. If we try to tap into that with positivity, I feel like good things are going to happen for us.
Heck yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna be good with seven O's maybe.
Right?
Yes, indeed. Heck, maybe good with 10 O's.
Right. Right. Yep, I agree.
Even though there's one Miranda. Oh.
We can have 10 O's, lots of O's. Only one Miranda Oh.
Yes, indeed. Makes you go,
Oh.
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 In this case, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yep, that pun's still gonna be used a lot for.
Oh, yes. It does. It does. It's so easy to use and just like overuse and continuously use. I love it.
Oh, good, good. With a big old heart indeed.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So this chronic illness, mind sharing what it is if you don't
Oh,
mind for
yeah, of
those?
course. It is called endometriosis. It is going back to biology class when you're about 14, 15 years old. Endometrial cells in a woman's body are supposed to develop and leave our body every cycle. And those cells, they go rogue on somebody that has endometriosis. So instead of leaving our body at the end of the cycle, they start to randomly zoom to different places inside of our reproductive system, outside of our reproductive system, on different organs. And when they latch on to those different places, they start to eat away at all the good cells, causing lesions and bleeding and inflammation and a whole bunch of really crazy things. Essentially, it's really painful. There's lots of swelling. So a lot of us look pregnant for most of the time, even though we're not. Infertility is an issue. Um, and nausea is also something that a lot of women experience. Some women experience nothing but infertility. Some women experience all the extra symptoms but have no issues with fertility. um, it's a very common condition, but the education and the awareness is so lacking, and it's lacking worldwide. Again, like when it came to going into my specialist's office, I came in equipped because I have people in my life that have endometriosis, people that have had their entire reproductive system removed out of their body but are still experiencing pain from endometriosis. And so I went in literally guns ablazing and equipped and knowledgeable. And the doctor, again, bless his soul, he's wonderful, gave me basically the information that I already knew. He just confirmed the course of action. And at that point, I was like, okay, at this point, I know that I've put myself in a situation that I am my own advocate, and all I need is a specialist to tell me what I already know. Nobody should know my body better than I do. But there are specialists that understand science that I don't comprehend that can confirm, hey, girl, I got a pain right here. Can you tell me why that pain is right here? Yeah, you had disease there, but guess what? I went in, I chopped it off, I burnt it up, I sewed you up. Now it's good. Hopefully it won't regrow back. But like live a healthy lifestyle until now. Then you have people that, so it's there's so much um there's so much with this and that happens, and women deal with it every day, and a lot of them feel silenced because it has to do with such a sensitive part of their body. And with my series, I'm just hoping to make it less of a taboo thing to talk about. Like, it shouldn't be an awkward thing to talk about. If I look at it and I simply put it down to my body does the most amazingly funky things. I could go from running 100% fine. I'm like running, jam into my tunes. And then all of a sudden this lightning bolt hits me on the right side and I go flying. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, catch my breath, catch my breath, catch my breath. And then out of nowhere, it feels like Satan is percolating in the bottom of my stomach and then starts to barrel roll up my esophagus and out of my mouth. But all that comes out is just this noise. There's nothing else. That can happen. Like, no word of a lie, that happens often. I will walk and this pain will come out of nowhere, which will send me flying across this room, which will then lead into this weird dry heave that sounds like Satan's coming out. And you're just like, what happened? You're like, oh no, I'm fine. Just give me a minute to like breathe this out. And again, that's the way that I look at it. My body does the funkiest things. I'm just along for the wild ride. I got to embrace it. I get one body. I can't hate it. I'm 31. I love my body, even though it does weird things to me. That's a choice that I sometimes struggle with on a daily basis. But again, it's my choice.
Heck, and that's a good choice indeed to actually really use your type A personality for good and get ahead of the game. And that's something that I'm not sure a lot of folks know about. I know I didn't know about it. I mean, well, me being a guy, I'm definitely not going to really know too much about endometriosis, to be honest.
Exactly. If you, unless you had a partner or a sister or a mother with it, there's no way you would know. It's not that kind of common knowledge. I had no idea. And my mom suffered through similar symptoms, but I still had no idea until I started experiencing things. And back then it wasn't spoken about. So now it's like, be your own advocate, love your body no matter what it does. And when it does funky things, appreciate it. Tell whatever happened that spazzed out that you love it. Send some love that way. If your tummy's hurting, breathe into your tummy and tell your tummy you love it. I know that sounds hippy dippy and crazy, but I mean, some days I just don't have any other choice.
Hippy dippy and crazy. All right. The lexicon expands. All right. I'm going to so use that on somebody unsuspectingly, and they're going to be so thrown off.
Totally. Well, I heard this one time.
That's right. Hippy dippy and crazy. Some of the dippy is honey dipped. Yes, indeed.
So sweet.
Oh, yes, indeed. Sweet with 20s now, maybe.
20. A whole 20.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right. Yes, indeed. One more to make the drinking age happen. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
That's really sweet. Yes, indeed. Yeah, some have called me the Colonel in the corny joke kingdom, and some, I guess, have to suffer from that. So, yep, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you. No, that wasn't the suffer. That was the pleasure was mine for sure.
Oh, good. All righty. Miranda gets pleasure. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about.
Yahoo!
Woohoo! That is the magical goal. So, what helps you to continue to write with all these folks trapped inside? Well, not trapped, but trapped under the COVID-19 evil thing that's going around. What helps you to get into that creative space to write what you write? Besides wine.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say, why? You know what? Honestly, right now, maintaining balance is key, and wanting to write is when I have my house clean and my space organized and everything aligned. I can actually put some time aside and just have at her. And writing during these times and creating during these times, um, I think all artists are empaths at some level, and empaths at times like this, we try to find ways of expressing our feelings to try to connect with others that are probably struggling with similar feelings that we're having. And um, during these interviews that I'm conducting right now, every time I hang up, or every time I actually pick up the phone and I'm speaking with these women, it's, hey, so like, how is life right now with COVID-19? And we're checking in with one another. And it every single interview, it just drives me harder to get these interviews done, to map out the series, to write and create, and again, relate and connect and share. Because at every time we talk to somebody and we connect with somebody, there's some sort of enlightenment and opportunity. And if we're going to be locked in our houses for the better safety of everybody, then let's do it. But let's find other ways to connect with people and other ways to relate to people. And that's really going to be through cyber and online. And I'm so happy that I started doing it before the pandemic, because now the next month and a half, I'm so booked up busy. So I'm not going to be at least a bit lonely in all of this quarantine time. So yeah, I simply am driven to write so I can connect with people, because we're all going through trying times right now. When people go through trying times, all we want to do, all we strive for, is to not feel alone. And like, we're in this alone, because we're not. We're in this together. So that's where I'm at right now.
That's right. We're in this together. We're in this together like peanut
We
butter
are
and jelly. We're in this together.
like peanut butter and jelly.
That's right. That's right. With extra nuts. Let me stop.
I was gonna say it must be jelly because jam don't jiggle like that.
Jiggling jam. Alrighty.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It doesn't jiggle, it just jams.
It just jams. It just jams. Oh man.
Yes, indeed, it's jamming. Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
Woohoo! Well, this is fabulous indeed. That's right, the marvelous Miranda's on a marvelous mission. That's right.
Marvelous mission.
That's right.
Marvelous mission. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm excited.
Woohoo! Well, I'm excited for you, especially with this next series coming out next year. It's going to be fabulous indeed. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be extra
Fabulous.
fabulous.
Very fabulous. Extra fabulous. Super fabulous.
Yes, indeed. So, since this isn't your first rodeo in terms of you being in the hot seat, in this case, the cool as a cucumber seat, is there a question that you wish interviewers or radio slash podcast hosts would ask you more often?
Oh my goodness. No, I don't think so. I think if I have something to say, whether you ask me or not, I'm gonna tell you. I will find some way to tie it into one of my really long-winded answers, which was a tangent on one of your original questions, for sure. Yeah, you know what? I've honestly never thought about that. Um, yeah, I stick with my answer on that one.
There we go. Just like sticky glue. All right.
Right? Oh, you can't get out of it. Once it's said, it's said. But it is true though. Like I feel like if somebody hasn't asked me something, I'll find a way to like slip it out some way, shape, or form. I do that with life in general too.
There you go. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Say what you want to say. Always be kind though.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. ABK. Always be kind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yes, indeed. Ah, no 150% this time, huh?
Oh, every now and then we swap back and forth. We swap back and forth.
Oh,
Both of
okay.
them equal the same. They hold the same weight. They hold the same weight. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, not if you do math, but like, I'm a writer, so I get exempt from that.
I tend to be nice, so you're exempt.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. I don't think I could. I don't think I would want to take that hit.
Ah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But what you're not exempt from is the magical question that everybody guesses. So that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you are 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2020 with all of your amassed knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
Oh, look myself in the mirror at 25 and ask myself, am I being am am I speaking my truth? That's what I want at 25. That would be the advice. Ask yourself, are you living the life that you want to live or that you're striving to work towards? If you like something, are you going after it? If you don't like something, are you speaking up about it, or are you keeping your mouth shut and dusting it under the rug? Think it in your 20s. A lot of us stumble through life trying to figure out who we are, what we are, pushing boundaries. Sometimes we walk on eggshells around people because we want to appease them, because it's easier to appease them than to speak up what we don't like. And I think at 25, that's the biggest advice, is just to speak up for yourself, but speak up kindly. Like, literally always be kind. It's our choice to use words, tone, body language, environment to say, hey, you're doing something that I don't like, or this happened and I don't like it. Ask yourself, are you saying this tough stuff to the people that you love in a way that you would like to be told the same thing? And if the answer is no, look at yourself in the mirror and practice a way and find a way to do that. If you do that in life, you're going to build nothing but successful relationships. It's tough, but if I would have learned that at 25 versus 30, I mean, it's only 5 years, but a lot of relationships would have changed at that point versus changed later in life.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yes, indeed. Are you living your truth?
Trying to. I mean, sometimes we all lie to ourselves every now and then. It's impossible not to. But, speaking up and like realizing, yo, when you're going to shove something under the carpet, don't leave it under the carpet, pull it out of the carpet and like talk about it with people. Tough conversations lead to good connections.
Oh, yeah, if I had a soundboard, I'd make a dropping bomb noise. Uh,
Right?
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's a bomb right there. That's a jewel. That's a jewel from Miranda's necklace of wisdom. There we go.
Yes. Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Lit with jewels of wisdom. There we go.
Jewels of wisdom.
That's right. Makes you go, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right. You'd be like, oh yes.
Right. Oh yes, Miranda. Oh yes.
That's right. And then when you beat it in the ground enough, you'd be like, oh no, you had enough.
Oh yeah. Oh no, 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 not again. No.
Yes.
Exactly right. You're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Woo.
So fun.
That's right, fun on the bun. So for those who want to say, oh yes, and keep up with the marvelous Miranda, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Miranda Oh, and that's OH, Miranda OH. On Facebook, I'm just Miranda Oh. Or you can simply hashtag chin up, and I'm pretty easy to find. You can hashtag that in Google or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, and I pop up. Or you can visit my website, super easy, www.mirandaoh.com. And my books are on Amazon if you want to go check them out there.
Yeah, well, there you have it, folks. Usually like to say go out there and check them out like a library book, but those are quarantined too, so have to go the non-cheap route and go out and buy them. They're in ebook form too. I just
Oh, yeah.
realized something. Are you going to do audiobooks in the future of the trilogy, or at least with your next series?
I'm working towards organizing that. Yes, I would love to do audiobooks. Honestly, if I could get Chin Up, Tits Out turned into some sort of film, whether it's TV or a series or movies or something, I think it's just such a wild story and it encompasses so many really hot, tough topics that I think it would be a really, really cool thing to go into production. But again, like I have so many other things on the go. So it is a goal. I just don't know when I'm going to get there. I tell people out loud so I hold myself accountable.
Oh, yeah. I know I liked you for a reason.
Right?
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yes, indeed. So be on the lookout for all those fabulous projects from Miranda. Definitely keep on the lookout. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Definitely keep a
yes,
lookout.
indeed.
Yes, indeed. So any parting words for the folks still listening, Miranda?
Always to keep a chin up, tits out attitude, even when the tough gets going, when all else fails. Remember to chin up and tits out. And literally, that can mean just pulling your shoulders back, holding your head high, power pose. I know in these tough times, our patience are going to be tried, our balance, our mental balance is going to be tried, our bank accounts are going to be tried. So in this time, this positivity, always trying to find a silver lining and a way to laugh through things is important. So I send all of the positive vibes I can out there. So chin up, tits out, and peace to y'all.
How's it going, you showstopper? It's great that you enjoyed this episode of the Going North podcast. If you really enjoyed it, be sure to shoot the guest an email or head over to the social media pages and leave them a nice response that you heard them on the Going North podcast, so that way they can continue to be inspired to do great things.